So how you are going to classify your transistors with respect to your flow of charge carriers. So if your flow of carriers are with holes, then we call it as PNP, and if it is due to electrons, we call it as NPN transistor. Fine. So how we are just naming it is NPNs. So otherwise how you define your transistor construction is, so sandwiching two PN junction diodes back to back. So we have seen the operation of an PN junction diode. So now we are going to add so back to back connected diodes. So either PNP or you can have your NPN. Fine. So while discussing about the structure, so here you could.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, this is module 3, right? Or continuation of the last module.
Module 3.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So now here, with respect to the construction, I'm going to talk. So the terminals, it is with respect to emitter, base, and collector. So how the construction of your regions of emitter, base, collector are defined as, so the base terminal is or base region should be as small as possible. I'll just explain why later. So the emitter terminal, so which is to be defined as a heavily doped region, and the collector terminal lightly doped region. Right. So we'll just take an example of PNP. Transistor and explain the operation. So we call it as emitter, base, collector. So how does the flow of charge carriers will be present? So if I'm considering your PNP transistor, so I'm just taking it as PNP initially. Fine. So as you can see the transistor, so as it is three terminals and it has been we called as sandwiching of back-to-back diodes. So we have junctions J1 and junction J2. Fine. So if I say junction J1 and junction J2, so the possibilities of getting into forward bias and reverse bias in order to have your flow of charge carriers, right? So only two possibilities. So junction 1 should be either forward bias or reverse bias. Similarly, junction J2 should be in forward or reverse. Fine. So how we are going to explain the operation now is with respect to J1, J2. So J1 is forward biased and J2 is reverse bias. Fine. So next the following case will be the other one both in forward bias. I'm going to take those two cases. If both are reverse bias, let us say junction J1 and junction J2, I could directly say the current is 0. Why? Because depletion region, so will block the flow of charge carriers. Am I right? So for that purpose, initially I'm going to make sure that junction J1 is forward bias. In order to make junction J1 forward bias, I'm going to apply an external voltage so called as positive and negative. But so positive terminal it is applied here now. So negative is applied here. Fine. So I'm going to name this terminal as or this potential as VEB, emitter to base potential. Exactly. So if I'm just having your holes, I'm going to call it as holes. So in any device, semiconductor device, fine. So if I'm talking about the region, right? So the majority charge carriers p-type. If I'm discussing about p-type, the majority charge carriers are holes, and the minority charge carriers present in p-type is nothing but electrons. Right. So whenever I apply a positive potential, what happens? What is the work done inside? So this is electrons. So it is nothing but junction J1. It is PN junction, right? So nothing but a diode. The operation of a diode will be performed here. So now what happens here? Kindly respond.
Current starts flowing.
Sorry.
Current starts flowing.
What is the path? That's what I'm asking.
Sir, the positive charges will go towards the J1, right?
So the positive charge carriers diffuse to your or diffuse through your base depletion region and then reach your base region. Am I right? So there is a chance of recombination occurring. So where you say that the charge gets neutralized. Fine. So in order to avoid your recombinations, so the base region is defined as a very small. So base width of the device. Fine. So if it is very small enough, the possibility of recombination occurring will be less. So for that purpose, what we do is we make sure that the base region is small. So depending upon the potential applied, so the charge carriers here have your more potential to cross the barrier. So the charge carriers will diffuse and then reach your other terminal. Fine. So what is the current? I'm going to call this one as the current entering here. So I'm going to call it as a factor called alpha times IE. The current due to your forward bias junction of J1, I'm going to define as alpha times IE, where alpha is nothing but your recombination factor. So few charge carriers will get neutralized due to your recombination. So removing that, you have your current as alpha times IE. Is that clear? So now applying the other potential now. So the remaining charge carriers will get into your collector region. Why? Because so the potential applied across this one will give you the charge carriers more energy to cross over the junction. So now here the next case I'm going to define as reverse bias case. So what is the reverse bias? Potential should be applied.
So NP should be
So
connected
this should
to
be an
a negative.
So I'm going to give the potential name as terminal as VCB. Fine. So as this will contribute your what kind of current in reverse bias? What kind of current will be contributed? So this current I'm going to call it as diffusion current. Fine. So in reverse bias, what kind of current I will get?
Drift current.
Drift current. So drift current is nothing but reverse saturation current. Is it fine? Or leakage current. I could give a name different terminologies. in different text will be given with different terminologies. So I could call it as either leakage current or your reverse saturation current. It is due to the field created. So the minority charge carriers, whatever accumulated here, will just drift. So the minority charge carriers here will be nothing but your electrons. Sorry, it will be holes. This is n type, right? So this is n type, this is p type. So the minority charge carriers here nothing but it will be p type. So that will get drifted through your collector region, and this current will be your collector current. But so collector current, I would say it alpha times IE plus ICO. So ICO is nothing but the reverse saturation current. Fine. So generally ICO will be in terms of microamps, so which is always neglected. Fine. So generally I could say that IC is approximately equal to alpha times IE. So I could write it as alpha equal to approximately equal to IC by IE. So considering that ICO is negligible, so I could just call this as a recombination factor, or I say current gain. Either way I could define it. So considering your ICO as negligible, that is to be noted. Clear?
Sir,
Yes, go ahead.
sir, why is ICO considered negligible?
Microamps. So the current is due to your, so you know the characteristics of diode, right? Generally. So what is the current here? In reverse bias. So that is generally you consider as 0. Fine. But you have some current. But I'm not getting into the breakdown region. So it is just your current before your breakdown. So whereas in forward bias, this is the characteristics. Fine, the current is maximum and exponentially increasing. Whereas in reverse, what happens is the current is very, very small. So we are not breaking the current here. So it is very, very small. So because of this, I'm just considering it as very, very small and neglecting it. Approximately equal to 0. That is what I'm trying to define. So you know what is micro, right? 0.00000 amps, 10 to the power of minus 6.
Yes, sir.
Clear? So I could have it, or I could just remove it, defining the current gain, just making an approximation, saying that it could be also called as current gain. Fine. Clear this? So from this, I could just say the current directions. So how do I define the current directions here? So holes, right? So the current direction is the similar way, and here it is the same direction, collector. Whereas in the base, what is the direction of the current? Go ahead.
In the same, sir.
Fine. So with this, using your Kirchhoff law, you could say that incoming current is equal to outgoing current. Can I define this fashion? So I could write this. Can I write it in this fashion?
Yes, sir. At the junction, right?
At the junction or in a closed loop. Can I write it in that fashion?
But it should require a junction for any current entering and exiting.
I didn't get it. Come again. A little bit louder.
Sir, it should require a junction, right, for any current to enter and exit.
Yeah, I have junctions, right?
Okay. So we can write, sir.
That's what I'm asking. Others not in responding. Can I write it in this
Yes,
fashion?
sir.
Fine. So I could say that. How do I write the equation? Just So what is that the current direction is correct according to you?
Yes, sir.
Is it correct?
Sir, could you explain the direction of base current once again?
That's what I'm asking. Is the direction of base current correct?
The base current should be downwards.
It should be downwards. I want
Yes.
you to listen. So don't just blindly say the answer as I'm saying it. So fine. So the current direction should be opposite. Why? Because N type, right? So the current flows opposite direction. So now you just tell me what is the equation I could write it?
Sir,
Yes, go ahead.
sir, I didn't understand the last part which you just said, sir. Can you please repeat?
So the flow of charge carriers, right? How it will be? So it is in this direction, right? Electrons. Am I right? So
Yes, sir.
so this is the direction I'm applying it. So in that case, if the electrons is flowing in one direction, the current should be taken in opposite direction. Why? Because it is negatively charged.
Yes, sir.
So for that purpose, I'm just showing you the direction opposite.
Okay, sir. Got it,
Now
sir.
can you just give me the equation using Kirchhoff current law? Go ahead. So incoming current is equal to outgoing current, right? Can I say that?
Yes, sir.
So IE equal to IC plus
IB.
IB. So this is what. So the summation of your base current and collector current will constitute your emitter current. So according to the direction of flow, I could just give you the symbol, transistor symbol. So this is your transistor symbol. So this is called the base terminal, collector, emitter. So depending upon the flow of charge carriers, we are going to determine whether it is NPN or PNP. So you could see the emitter terminal, the current is flowing through the device, inside the device. Fine. So my direction will be arrow mark indicating inside. So this symbol is called as NPN transistor. Similarly, for PNP, how it should be? So the arrow mark will be going inside, sorry, outside. Why? Because this will be electrons, right?
So you have written in that PNP, not NPN.
Yeah, PNP only, right? Direction is inside. So this one direction is outside. Fine. Any doubts?
No doubt, sir.
So for PNP, this is what we are discussing. For NPN, it is exactly opposite. So this will be N, the base will be of P, and this will be of N as well. So the flow will be the similar way, but the direction I'm going to take it as outside. Why? Because it is of electrons. So the arrow mark will indicate outside, where we define this as NPN transistor. This will be the symbol of your transistors. Clear? So
Yes,
here
sir.
one more thing you have to observe is, so base terminal, with respect to the base terminal only, I have defined the voltages and the flow of current. If IB is increasing, what happens to IE? So we'll get to the characteristics so that you will understand clearly. So now getting into characteristics. So I have your two characteristics. One is input end, another one is output end. So input characteristics, as I have two junctions left. Fine. So coming to your input characteristics. So from the device structure, you could say, what is the input characteristics? So it is with respect to junction J1. This is your input end, and this becomes your output end. So at your input end, if you can see, so it is nothing but what kind of current it is at input end? What is input current here?
Diffusion current.
Diffusion current is IE. Fine. So the voltage applied across it, VEB. Clear? So the characteristics, how does it look? Any idea? How does the characteristic look?
First, it should be linear, then constant.
For input end, it should be linear and constant. So I've told you that input is this one. If you just follow. And junction J1. So what is junction J1? So this is P and this is N. This is how I've given the potential, right? Am I right? Now tell me what will be the characteristics?
Sir, first it will increase linearly, then it will get constant.
Increase linearly and then constant. Is it so? Can you just explain why? Why it is increasing and then getting constant? Can anyone explain why it is increasing linearly and then getting constant? So I'm talking about here emitter and base. So what do you look at here? What is seen? What is this written here?
PN, so maybe sir
PN, right?
recombination.
So for PN junction, what is the characteristics? Is this the characteristics which you have been discussed previously?
No, sir.
Then what are the characteristics?
Exponential increase.
Sorry?
Exponential increase.
Initial increase. I didn't get it. Come here.
I said exponential increase.
So it should increase exponential after the breakdown region or after the cut-in region. Is that clear? So I'm talking about the input characteristics. Kindly look into what is the input characteristics in the device. So in the device, it is contributed with respect to your junction J1. So for junction J1, it is nothing but a PN junction diode. You know the characteristics of PN junction diode. Then how do you explain it is linearly increasing and then constant again after some time? Is that clear, the concept? All of you kindly respond.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it is a PN junction diode emitted to base, whereas nothing but holes and electrons. Here I could see that the current is increasing after your cutting voltage. Is that clear? Now what will be your output, or you say I have another region also here, right? Called collector region. Now let us take this potential also. So I'm going to have this one is positive, this one is negative, if I'm not wrong. VCB. Fine. Now let us say that VCB is applied with some potential. VCB is 0 initially. Fine. Now I'm going to apply some potential. Can you tell me what happens to the characteristics? Think.
Very less amount of current will flow.
What happens to the characteristics? Kindly respond. Am I audible?
Sir, it would be decreasing.
Decreasing.
Yes, sir.
Let us now again talk about it. So what happens if VCB is increasing? Can you just tell me?
The diode will operate in reverse bias.
Diode will operate in reverse bias. What happens in reverse bias?
Very less amount of current will flow then.
Why very less amount of current will flow? I want the exact
Breakdown.
answer. Sorry, louder.
Breakdown.
What kind
The
of breakdown
reverse
you're talking about? So you're saying less current, then what is breakdown here? What happens in reverse bias? So you say that the increase in VCB, what does it determine in reverse bias? So what is the work done inside in reverse bias? So you can just say something, right? Whatever you know about reverse
Then the
bias.
depletion region get
Exactly. Thank you.
increased.
So depletion region increases across your junction J2. So it refers that I want to have my depletion region increased. So I call this as depletion region. Fine. So if depletion region increases, what happens to the base region? So you could see this was my width of the base region. Base width. Now what is the base width? Just this amount. But so due to applying in VCB potential, I could say that the base width has been reduced due to the depletion region. Clear? So if base width is reduced, so the possibility of recombination, will it increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Decrease. Fine. Why? Because the charge carriers are neutralized. Fine. So here the chances of getting recombined decreases. So what happens to your current? IE current. So previously it was alpha times IE, right? The current. Now if alpha is reducing, the current IE will, the total current
Reduce.
reduces or increases? Alpha is the factor where it is reducing your IE. If alpha is reduced, it refers IE
Increase
is
in IE.
increasing. Fine. So it means that my characteristics with VCB will be increasing. So for varying in VCB, my characteristics, what happens is the IE will increase. Sorry. Fine. So this I could call it as VCB equal to 10 volts, increasing VCB. So VCB equal to 5 volts. Likewise, if you keep on increasing VCB, your IE will increase. So waveform will move to your left side. So the breakdown voltage, the cut-in voltage doesn't affect, whereas after that cut-in voltage, the current increases. That is what we're trying to define. Clear? If VCB is increasing. Am I clear? Any doubts? So we call this as early effect. So So early effect is change in your base width due to increasing VCB. Is that right? As change in base width. Sorry, not width, it is when. When VCB is increased. But you could just add it. So why base width region is reduced is due to increase in depletion region. Is that clear? I'm just giving a brief. So change in base width when VCB is increased. So accordingly, I could say that base width decreases, current increases. So this is what generally is about early effect. Clear with this? So this is with respect to your input characteristics. So with respect to junction J1. So now coming to your junction J2. So I'm going to call this output characteristics. So now tell me what will be output characteristics. So with respect to your input only, we are going to define your output characteristics. So what is your output current?
Drive
IC.
current.
Sorry, come again.
IC.
IC. So output voltage will be
VCB.
VCB. Fine. So what will be the characteristics? As I hope most of you have seen it. That's why for input itself you are answering something like this, right? So after a particular point, you say the current is in this fashion. If I'm not wrong, I think somewhere you might have seen this. I'll explain you why you're getting this kind of characteristics. So now coming to, sorry, it is not something like this. So after a particular, so there should be a curve. I will just assume that is a curve. I'll tell you why I'm just drawing it particularly straight line. Fine. So here with increase in IE, so I could define your IC. Fine. So we have seen that IC is equal to alpha times IE plus ICO, reverse saturation current. Fine. Where you say that alpha is very, very small. Why? Because the recombination factor, right? So as the base width is reduced, so I could say that it is very, very small, but not zero. It is not zero. So we have seen that. So I've just given you the equation of alpha is equal to IC by IE, considering ICO is 0. But so if, is it fine with this equation? I hope you
Yes.
remember. So if IC is equal to IE, so the total current, whatever I'm applying at the input, it is obtained across your output end. So I could say alpha is equal to 1. Is it fine? If this case is if output current is equal to input current, it means that alpha is equal to 1. But so we say that it is not equal all the time. Why? Because there is some recombination factor. So it means that IA is maximum. Fine. But both are will be in the same order. So if I'm saying that IC is in milli, IE will also be in milli only. Clear? So here what we are trying to define is alpha approximately ranges from 0.995 to 0.998, not your one value. So this is where the value lies generally. So this current equation would be IC approximately equal to alpha times IE. So that is why I've just made it as straight lines. So output current is equal to your input current mostly. Fine. So if it is increasing, it won't be the characteristics justifying the characteristic. So now IC is approximately equal to alpha times IE. So here this region, now I'm going to divide the regions. So this region, you could say that the current is increasing. So this region, you could say the current is constant. Fine. So generally, so I want you to understand the concept. Why? Because in different textbook, it will be given with different terminologies. So I'm going to call this as active region. And this I'm going to call it as saturation region. In few texts, it will be given as saturation. This is active. There is no issues. I want you to understand what is the junctions operating, how are junctions operating in this region. So on the cutoff region, I called as the terminologies used depending upon the flow of current. So cutoff region where I say IC is equal to 0. IC is equal to 0, the current. Fine. So these values will be IE equal to some value. So let us say 2 milliamps, 5 milliamps, 10 milliamps, IE. For IE equal to 10 milliamps, this is your characteristics. Fine. The saturation region. So getting back to your transistor network. So PNP transistor I'm going to consider. So initially I told you junction J1 and junction J2, right? So depending upon the operating of your junction J1, J2, your flow of charge carriers will be defined. So junction J1 should be in forward bias in order to make sure that the transistor conducts. So junction J2 is reverse biased. So the other possibility is junction J1 forward bias, junction J2 also forward bias. Fine. So reverse bias we have seen. In forward bias, what happens in forward bias if junction J2 is also in forward bias? Go ahead. So I hope you are clear with the concept of forward bias and reverse bias, right? Respond.
So no current will pass.
Both the junctions are in forward bias. Will there be no current? Or will there be a current? So I'll give you the other cases also. So other cases would be junction J1 reverse bias, junction J2 reverse bias, junction J1 reverse bias, junction J2 forward bias. So I've shown you this case. So this case I can directly tell you if both are in reverse bias, what happens?
Zero current.
No current. I'll say that IC is equal to 0. So no current. So if this is the case, let us take reverse bias and forward bias. So junction J1 is reverse bias, junction J1 forward bias. Will there be a current? So the current is offered from your junction J1 or junction J2?
J1.
So here, this is how the current flows. From J1 only you are going to get your current in J2. So if this is itself reverse bias, what will be the current? So there will be no current. It is only your reverse saturation current. Fine. So it is nothing but 0. The current contributed only will be a reverse saturation, ICO. Am I clear? Reverse biased at this point. This junction alone. Clear? So this case, what I'm trying to define. Junction J1 is reverse biased. Sorry, this is forward bias. There are no charge carriers given. So then what will be this one? No point in discussing at all. Why? Because the current is contributed from the current flows only in this direction. Am I right? So there is no path for the current to flow in this region at all. So there is no possibility. Clear? So this point is also negligible. This is also not considered. So this one I've considered. What about this case? Both are in forward bias. Will the current flow or not?
It will flow, sir.
It should flow. If both are in forward bias, so the maximum current. Fine. So
Yes, sir.
that is where this region will fall. So the current increases. Sorry. So you could see the current increases, and then after that it gets saturated. So saturation voltage is determined, or you say active region, where here in this case, whenever it is reverse biased, right? So constant current will flow. Why? Because that is due to your ICO. There is no more current left out. So that is the final saturation current, reverse saturation current offered with respect to your alpha times IE. So this is where you get a constant. Likewise. So whereas here you could say that IC increases. Why? Because you have your alpha times IE. So how much ever you have it, right? Accordingly, you'll go forward bias itself. The maximum current flown through the circuit only when both are forward biased. This region. So here I could directly say junction J1 and junction J2 are forward biased. So here J1 is forward bias, J2 is reverse bias. Any doubts? So next class I'm not going to discuss this one. I'm going to get into the current equations. Is that clear with this?
Yes, sir.
So
All of you kindly respond. Is that clear?
Yes.
I didn't know.
So this will just conclude today's session. So next class I'll just give you the current equations of other configurations. So this one we have discussed with respect to base terminal, we are applying the potential. Likewise, we are going to have the similar way, the others.
Sir,